Just look at this smartwatch. If you are going to the beach in flip-flops, or if you need to go to work in a suit and tie, or if you are going to play a paddle match with your partner and afterwards grab a beer with your friends, or if you are going for an early morning run session, or late at night, or heading to a more casual dinner, or even just going to do some shopping, or simply just walking around here on the backyard. It looks awesome with anything that I wear. It lasts up to 21 days on a single charge, has more than 100 spots that we can track and organize however we like. It has the GPS that the GT5 was great, but this one is even better. And for cycling, it even turns your phone into a proper bike computer with tons of data. It even supports diving. It detects my dives. And if you want, you can even do an ECG to see if everything is okay after you do all those dives. This is the Huawei Watch GT6 Pro Titanium, and it's awesome. There are several models, 46 and 41 mil, some for guys and others for girls. You get a bunch of watch faces on the watch, but if you don't like any of them, you can choose more from the app, and even then you can customize different aspects of each one. Steps, calories, weather, even moon phases, so that you know when it's time to go fishing. Navigation is really simple. We just need to swipe left or right and we can access our calendar, health goals, body monitoring, exercise shortcuts, and moon cycles. But you can change all of this. Just remove the ones that you don't need and add the ones that you just want. Swipe up for notifications, swipe down for the settings menu, which honestly has so many settings that probably are going to need a whole video just to cover these. For sports is top as well. I was a bit worried compared with the GT5 or even the GT6 Pro Black, which has the same style as this one here. I thought that I could feel it heavier and that would prevent me to use in activities such as paddle, for example, but that hasn't happened. It's slightly heavier, of course, it's a different watch, but I can play my paddle matches with no problem at all. And honestly, I do forget that I'm wearing the watch only at the end when I want to end my session. Now, cycling sessions, treadmill runs, outdoor run, it has been great experience just like the GT5, and we can even see more details in the app than we can see on the watch. It even tells us if you land more with your left foot or right foot when we are running, which is something really cool. For serious cyclists out there, which is not my case, there is a awesome new feature that we can use the cycling mode on the watch, and simultaneously it will sync with the Huawei Health app on our phone, turning it on automatically into a full-on bike computer with all the data. Now, I do ride more casually, as you guys know, but for the hardcore cyclist, you will want this feature. And for more details, I will leave the link down below so that you can check out the Huawei site. But you can even connect power meters to your bike and to the smartwatch. And honestly, although I'm not a cyclist, a serious cyclist, I believe that if I was, I would love to connect any kind of device that would give me serious readings on a bike and then send them to my smartwatch and gather all that data on the app. The heart rate is monitored 24/7 if I want, of course. We can check real time, daily history, weekly averages, and if we open the app, then we can get fully monthly and yearly reports. And here, when you look at yearly, I've got a mix between the GT5 and the GT6 Pro data together. It even takes an ECG. We just need to place our finger on the button and wait for about 20 seconds for the result, which is awesome. There's also a artery elasticity test, and I can't really prove how accurate it is, but I believe that it can detect something if there's something there, which might be useful and maybe give us a warning of about this or about that. And if I have a warning, probably I will go to my doctor and say, hey, can we check this or can we check that, which we should do regardless of the smartwatch that we use. Qualidade de áudio do quê? Okay.
Um relógio.
É um relógio? Que relógio é que é?
É um relógio Huawei.
Ah, sabes muito tu. Tá bem. Que também se ouve bem. And of course, it's waterproof, so you can go to your shower without any issues. But the coolest part is when we dive into a pool or to the sea, it automatically switches to the dive mode and gives you a ton of details. The depth, dive time, rest time between dives, water temperature, a lot. So, normal time and... it detects my dives, which is really cool. So 1.4 meters depth, last dive time, and the surface rest time. Go for a dive. So really accurate on the depth. The GPS is awesome. The best smartwatch that I've tested in terms of GPS was the GT5. I've shared with you last year, did a lot of comparisons, but the GT6 Pro is a bit above. I did test out against 3 phones, the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra, Google Pixel 10 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro. I grabbed all 3, put them on my backpack, and there I go with the bike so that I could do a test. Now, all of them gave me solid results, but you can clearly see that the GT6 Pro is a bit sharper. It tracks the curves, for example, which is something really cool. It does it properly, the curve itself, while the phones draw in straighter lines, almost like they are updating slower, whereas the watch is spot on with the actual path, because when I'm running or when I'm cycling, I don't do this. I do a normal flow in terms of running and so on, and this one looks like it refreshes faster. The GT5 did the same, but this one is a bit more accurate, and I did love that. This doesn't mean that any of the phones did a bad job. They didn't. They did a great job, but when I compare all of them together with the watch, the smartwatch wins, and it doesn't mean that it's perfect, because sometimes it misses a bit here or there, like any phone that I've tested so far. Battery life will last up to 21 days, but to accomplish those 21 days, there are things that we will need to disable and others to not use at all. In my particular case, doing sports 3 to 4 times a week, it will last me to 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks maximum, depending if I use running outside or cycling, GPS activated or not. But 1 week or more in my case gives me time to forget that I need to charge a smartwatch. So 1.5 weeks minimum, which is what I'm getting, is just enough, because one of those days I just need before go to dinner or before go to my shower to put it to charge, and it will charge in about 1 hour or so. I did measure and it was charging 2 to 3% per minute, so it will give me roughly 45 minutes to 1 hour for a full charge, and a full charge means 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks, which is awesome. So if I'm in a rush and I need a bit of battery, if I charge for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, for example, that will mean that it will give me about 1 or 2 days of battery, and that's almost the maximum that some smartwatches will do when 100%. The app is the Huawei Health, which we have explored before. It gives us our activity insights, detailed logs of our exercise. For me, it's paddle, indoor cycling, treadmill and outdoor running. Running outdoors is where it shines the most, thanks to the GPS and impact data, of course, and you will get your heart rate monitoring, weight management, which is super helpful for me when I'm misbehaving and I need a reminder to ease off on the snacks. It also sleeps tracking, although I'm a terrible sleeper because I sleep only a few hours, and that's not good, so that's something that I need to improve. The titanium model comes with this strap, which is not as flexible as the GT6 Pro Black, which is more flexible like the GT5. But what I do feel is that it's really comfortable. Now, to adjust it, I just needed to remove really easily 2 of these pieces because it was too large on my wrist. And after that, it's super practical to use. I just need to place my arm and close it like this, and it's super close. It will not open accidentally. I don't see any way of opening this unless I press these 2 buttons here, and then it will open it up and I can just remove it. So although it looks that it's not as easy as a rubber strap, it's convenient and it's really fast to just put it. And of course, if I'm doing like this, then it's not a normal move, but if I do it like I do on a daily basis, then it's just as easy as this. And I bet that I will take more time to put this and take it off than using this. And honestly, I think that it's a smartwatch that I can use on any situation, with any outfit, for any occasion. And at the same time, it's packed with serious sports feature, which is not easy to find. And I've been using it daily for about 2 weeks or so, and with any clothes, it just looks right. And even though it's a smartwatch full of tech, it still looks like a really classic watch. And of course, I've got this watch face that gives it a more digital look, but if I change to this watch face, it is a classic watch full of tech. So if you ask me which one is my favorite, the black, the brown, which is also cool, or the titanium, I love the titanium. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and if you did so, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.